Maria Gisela Tiongson is the Executive Director of the Jollibee Group Foundation. And she is also currently the chair of the Association of Foundations, the largest network of NGOs and foundations in the country. Gisela is a PhD candidate in leadership in public management at the Ateneo School of Government. She obtained her master's degree from the George Washington University and a degree in mathematics from the Ateneo de Manila University. Brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, mga kasama, let us all welcome Miss Gisela. With a round of applause. Round of applause. Kung makita, may nag-round of applause. Gising, gising.
Okay.
Alright.
Maraming salamat, Sir Ronald. No? Nakakatuwa naman ang inyong applause talaga. So, a jolly afternoon to everyone attending the 29th APPEND Leadership Conference. Unang-una, isang malaking pasasalamat sa mga organizers ng event na to, led by Liza Pag-unlad, for inviting us to be part of this year's successful conference. On behalf of Jollibee Group Foundation, I would also like to commend APPEND as a network for its commitment to continuously strengthen the leadership and competence of its member institutions. And we are really very honored to be in this same room together with the leaders and delegates of these institutions. As a background, our company, Jollibee Foods Corporation, started when Tony and Grace Tangkatyong founded 2 ice cream parlors in 1975. And seeing the demands of customers for warm meals, they introduced hamburgers into the menu, and soon the hamburgers outsold the ice cream and Jollibee was formed. Today, Jollibee Foods Corporation is the largest Asian food service company with over 5,000 stores under 17 brands in 33 countries. The company's growth grew from its mission of serving great tasting food and bringing the joy of eating to everyone. It is the same mission that inspired our leaders to make sure that the communities where we operate grew as well. Kaya nga, in 2004, Jollibee Group Foundation was established. As the social development arm of a food company, it was strategic for us to focus our work on helping communities gain sustainable access to food. So pagkain pa rin, no? By doing so, we can harness the skills and strengths of the company to help communities across the country. Currently, Jollibee Group Foundation implements programs in agriculture through the Farmer Entrepreneurship Program, in education through the Busog-Lusog Talino School Feeding Program and ACE Scholarship Program, and disaster response through Jollibee Group Food Aid. All these are done in partnership with local institutions nationwide. And in this session, I will focus on the Farmer Entrepreneurship Program. It was actually our chairman, Tony Tangkatyong, who had this idea of working with farmers. Sabi niya, what if Jollibee were to buy directly from the farmers so that they can have a regular and stable market to sell to? Our company's daily requirements for fresh vegetables puts us in a strategic position to serve as a direct market for the farmers. It was a simple concept, but the execution was far from being simple. And I'm sure many of you in this room know what I mean. I will spare you the details of how we went through it for now, as you would have the opportunity to hear it directly from the panel later on. Allow me to share, though, that through the hard work of many involved in the Farmer Entrepreneurship Program, or FEP, we now have 17 farmer co-ops supplying Jollibee Foods Corporation. And they have delivered around 7,000 metric tons of vegetables since 2008, amounting to 300 million pesos in total sales. What FEP has done is to demonstrate that indeed it is possible for ordinary smallholder farmers to control the marketing of their produce, and that they can deal with middlemen on equal footing because they are no longer at their mercy when it comes to selling their harvest. More importantly, nakikita po ito ng mga kabataan sa mga pamayanan at ito yung nag-iinganyo sa kanila na ituloy ang pagsasaka dahil alam nila There is money to be made from farming. It is a career worth pursuing. So let's watch this video.
Nakakatuwa naman. Akalain mo ba, ang mga sangkap na mga pagkain ito nanggaling sa mga magsasakang katulad ko? Lumaki ako sa bukid, kasama ng pamilya ko. Sige po, Nay. Dati, hirap sina tatay at nanay umasenso. Pare-pareho lang lagi ang pamamaraan sa pagtatanim. Kanya-kanyang diskarte sa pagbenta. Madalas, di namin alam kung kikita pa ba kami. Pero sa tulong ng Farmer Entrepreneurship Program ng Jollibee Group Foundation, nagsimulang gumaan ang buhay namin. Nabigyan kami ng training para sama-samang makapagbenta sa malalaking buyer. Pinakilala kami sa mga bibili ng aming produkto, kaya alam na namin kung anong kalidad at gaano kadami ang kailangan nila. At dahil naturuan na kami ng maayos sa pagkwenta, mas sigurado na ang kita namin. Lahat ito, i-deliver na sa Jollibee Group para gamitin sa iba't ibang branches sa buong bansa. Sa ganda ng negosyo ngayon, excited na rin silang sumali sa amin. Dati, simple magsasaka. Ngayon, farmer entrepreneur na. Proud kaming lahat dahil ang tinanim namin nagdadala ng saya sa maraming Pilipino.
So ito pong video na to, it really captures what we are aspiring for the farmers, no? Pero paano nga ba ito nangyari? To explain the strategies behind the Farmer Entrepreneurship Program, joining me in this session is Joanna Lao, Jollibee Group Foundation Senior Program Manager.
Good afternoon, Ma'am Gisela, at sa lahat po ng mga participant nitong APPEND conference.
Okay. Siguro, Joanna, simulan natin ang kwento by providing context on how it was in the past. Ano nga ba ang mga constraints sa mga farmers para makapag-supply sa institutional buyers? Kasi naalala ko naman, after na nag-meet ang ating board at sinabihan nga na hanapan ng paraan ng Jollibee Foods Corporation na bumili diretso sa mga farmers, hindi naman tayo nahirapang kumbinsihin ang purchasing group, di ba?
Yes, and no, that's right, no? In fact, nung tinanong natin yung mga taga-purchasing if they were willing to buy directly from farmers, sabi nila, as a strategy, they actually prefer to buy as close to the source as possible. Pero nasubukan na raw nila dati na mag-order sa mga farmer and it couldn't be sustained beyond the first few deliveries. In fact, back in 2008, when we were starting the program, we could barely find examples of farmers directly linked to markets. Many groups had tried before but couldn't seem to get it to work.
So, if it makes sense for the companies and for the farmers to transact directly, why do you think very few practice this?
One main factor seems to be a lack of access. Alam naman po natin na farmers lack access to innovative production technology, institutions that could provide needed services, at wala rin silang access sa markets. They have no idea what the big buyers need kasi sa trader na lang sila umaasa. The markets, on the other hand, didn't know how to find or communicate with smallholder farmers that could sustainably supply, or even support organizations that could help them link directly to the farmers. The traders were quite efficient in providing a reliable supply for their raw materials. So ba't pa sila maghahanap ng iba?
So, access talaga is a clear issue. Alam naman natin, no, maraming mahihirap na pamayanan. Yan talaga yung hinaharap nila. Pero, yun lang ba? Yun lang ba yung problema?
Perhaps even deeper than the lack of access was the lack of trust. Napakahalaga ng tiwala. Farmers mistrusted company processes so unfamiliar to them. Modern methods, maraming mga papers and contracts, and the reliability of companies as markets. It's also hard for markets to trust the farmers' capacity to manage a business relationship. Marami nang nakaranas nung pole vaulting, yung hindi natutupad ng farmer yung mga pinangakong ibebenta nila. So it's important to appreciate this context and past experience to see why we couldn't simply find a group of farmers and introduce them immediately to Jollibee.
I see. So, siguro to better appreciate the challenges that farmers are facing, tingnan nga natin yung typical value chain, no? With farmers as producers on one end, and their products going through many layers before they reach the end consumer. So it involves production, consolidation, processing, distribution, and these are done by two types of market actors. No? First are the main chain actors such as the traders, the agents, the retailers who buy and sell until it reaches the consumers. But second are the business development service providers who do not buy or sell the product but who provide critical services such as financing. Marami yata sa grupo na to ang meron yan, Joanna. Farm
Yes.
input, supply, transport, etc. So anong masasabi mo sa value chain na ito? Paano nga ba mas kikita ang mga magsasaka?
Makikita po natin na in this existing system, it's common for the trader not only to buy the farmer's products, but also to act as the financier, input supplier, and transporter. So with this much influence, they also control the price. Pero kung wala namang traders, karamihan sa mga farmer, hindi rin mabibenta ang kanilang mga produkto. So paano mapapalakas ng mga farmer ang kanilang bargaining power? They have to upgrade their participation in the value chain. And given the starting point where they are disadvantaged, this has to be done in a systematic way with the help of support institutions. So to illustrate, pag-usapan natin yung onion value chain and how it became inclusive. Here, you can see the basic elements and the actors. There are different types of upgrading strategies that can help farmers to improve their participation in the value chain. 5 po itong strategy at dadaanan natin isa-isa. So the first strategy was to improve the coordination. Local partners such as LGUs, co-ops, MFIs, or social enterprises help farmers to organize themselves into clusters to consolidate their products for better volume and competitive supply. Next, the farmers upgraded their value-adding activities. This includes sorting, peeling, and transporting the products through the help of their local partners. The farmers devised ways to quickly sort small, medium, and large onions since Jollibee has a minimum size requirement. Yung mga community members tulad ng mga kababaihan, yung mga senior citizen, also earn extra income by doing the peeling. With their training and consolidated volume, the farmers are now equipped to negotiate with markets and deliver their products directly, for which they can get a higher selling price. Jollibee oriented the farmers on the specifications needed. So may extra effort din yung company para ma-orient yung mga farmers. And to ensure the customer satisfaction, farmers continuously improve their products and their processes. For example, Jollibee requires all agricultural suppliers to be certified in Philippine Good Agricultural Practices or PhilGAP. With the help of DA, the foundation, and other partners, proud na proud ang mga farmers na meron na silang PhilGAP certification. They also do other process improvements such as varietal testing to increase yield. And we're working on a project to provide daily farming advice based on weather forecasts. We're also partnering with DA and other agencies so the farmers can have soil testing and appropriate advice. All of this is made possible through the work of a set of partners. The farmers will have a hard time doing it by themselves, and we at the foundation alone cannot provide all the support they need. Kanina sa presentation ni Sir Glenn, nabanggit din yan na napaka-importante ng mga partnership, di ba? We applied the upgrading strategy of improving the institutional environment. We formed a network of support institutions such as local partners, national and regional government units, financing institutions, NGOs, and the academe. And each of these organizations play different roles in supporting the farmers, with the foundation acting as the bridge and convener.
So mukhang mahalaga yung nasabi mo, no? There are 5 strategies for value upgrading. So improving coordination, upgrading value-adding activities, improvement of product and process, And lastly, improving the institutional environment. Sabi natin, it's the local partners such as LGUs, co-ops, microfinance institutions, or social enterprise that organize the farmers into clusters para nga ma-consolidate nila yung mga produkto nila for better volume and competitive supply. Pakinggan nga natin yung kwento naman na to. So joining us here also is Miss Lynn Onesa from Tulay sa Pag-unlad Inc. So one of JGS MFI partners for the past 4 years. So, Lynn, pwede mo bang ibahagi naman, no? What was the critical role that MFIs played in this value chain?
Going back sa question po ni Ma'am Gisela, ano ba ang critical role ng mga MFIs? Traditionally, no, mga MFIs, we all know this, that ang ating role sa value chain talaga is to provide more affordable production loans to the small farmers. Kasi nga, yung kanilang ibang option, kung di sila sa ating hihiram, medyo mahal talaga, no? 5, 6, or even mas mahal pa doon. It's an acknowledged big help even by the farmers, pero we all know, like yung mga sharing po kanina, or even yung mga baka hindi na share ngayon, walang chance to share, pero many NFIs here will agree with me, agree with us, na to have more sustainable impact po sa buhay ng mga farmers, specifically in maximizing their income from farming, we have to help them market their produce. And we're grateful na kami ay isa sa naging FEP or Farmer Entrepreneurship Program Partner ng Jollibee Group Foundation. And as a partner, TSPI serves as a guide who walks along with the farmer in their journey para matuto sila paano i-improve ang kanilang mga production processes step by step. And also, on the other hand, matulungan din sila how to effectively deal with the market. But this time, not as an individual farmers, but as an organized group. Pero for TSPI to be able to do that, allow me to also say this, at kanina pa maraming nag-uulit nito, isa siguro talaga sa paulit-ulit na gusto nating matandaan, ano? Sambayanihan po talaga. TSPI also has to partner with other institutions closely so that we can effectively assist the farmers. Because we do not, syempre as an MFI, we do not have all the expertise naman po, di ba? So for TSPI, Ma'am Gisela, kami, we learn to partner even more sa Department of Agriculture, Bureau of Plant Industry. Hinanap namin paano pa pwede makakuha ng field gap certificate ng farmers. Of course, local government para sa technical support. We were also able to link up yung mga farmers namin sa ibang farmer groups para makakita sila ng best practices na parang learn and more by observing what others are doing. Of course, syempre, we partner with institutional buyers like JFC, Jollibee Foundation din for the marketing processes. So, yun po. Basically, the story of how Ma'am Joey kanina explained the process, we went all through those steps po.
Oo nga, napakayaman na naging karanasan ninyo, no? And from this experience in promoting the inclusion of smallholder farmers in value chain, ano sa tingin mo yung pinaka-critical challenge, leadership challenge, no, na hinaharap, no? Halimbawa sa inyo, Lynn, no, ano ang mga ito at paano nyo hinarap?
Okay po. Challenges ng TSPI. So, dalawa po, maraming challenges. At ang challenges po ay both on the part of the farmers and both on the part of the organization helping TSPI, helping the farmers. So, TSPI may challenge din. So, let me start with the challenges ng mga farmers. Sa experience po namin sa Farmer Entrepreneurship Program, ang mga farmers po, hirap talaga mag-change ng mindset. Sanay po talaga sila na magtanim na lang kami, i-produce namin, and then bahala na kayo magbenta. Sabi nila sa TSPI, ganun, bilhin nyo na lang yung kami mga produce. Pero in the Farmer Entrepreneurship Program, we have to really convince them that they can do it. They can group together as a cluster of farmers and market their produce as a formal agro enterprise. So, kailangan po nila ng ganung constant support. So, ang challenge sa kanila, to know how to compute cost of production, understand pricing, appreciate the specific requirements of the institutional buyers, preparing documentation or documents na kailangan. So, maraming ganong challenges. On the part of TSPI naman, Ako siguro personally, I can say na ang challenge sa amin is to really not to give up on the farmers. Minsan po kasi it's easier to think na maybe the program is not for this group of farmers or look for another area na lang siguro, baka di talaga nila kaya. But we realize and we are thankful that at this point, we can say na all of those things, the challenges are just part of the transformational process. And siguro finally, Ma'am Gisela, let me just share with everyone po that we are grateful and thankful to the Lord. Recently, yung isa sa mga grupo ng farmers po namin, mga calamansi farmers po namin in Haen, Nueva Ecija, ang masipag kapang kabuhayan was recognized and given a bronze award by the Jollibee Food Corporation in their 2021 Suppliers Summit. Parang sila lang yung group of farmers na nagkaroon recognition. So parang kami, ay, pwede talaga. So may pag-asa po talaga para sa mga magsasaka at para sa mga gustong tumulong sa mga magsasaka.
Wow. Amazing, amazing, Ma'am Lina. Talagang yan ang brotherly love that continued on. Talagang hindi nyo binitawan, no? To have reached that level of recognition as a supplier. And take note, ang katapat nila are even multinational suppliers of JFC. Hindi lang mga maliliit at hindi lang local, no? So it's truly a major milestone. In fact, the Calamansi Farmers you assist are the first among the farmer groups supplying the company to have received that recognition. So congratulations talaga. Ang galing. Glory to God talaga. Salamat. Sige, balik naman tayo sa iyo, Joanna. Ano naman ang mga sasabi mo when it comes to the challenges?
Okay. Ano po, so agree po ako dun sa mga sinabi ni Ms. Lynn. No, witness tayo sa mga pinagdaanan both ng TSPI, si Ms. Malu, and yung masipag ka farmers, no? So ang isa talaga gusto nating emphasize is the critical role of the local partner, which can be an MFI like TSPI. Because of the constraints faced by the farmers, it's no exaggeration to say that they cannot deliver to institutional buyers without the help of these facilitators. But it's not an easy task. Narinig naman natin yung sharing ni Ms. Lynn na minsan munti ka na mag-give up pero tuloy pa rin. So before MFIs go into this, they have to ask themselves, is this really a priority for them? What are they willing to invest to make it work? It's not a business as usual for all the partners involved. Maski sa mga farmer at sa mga market, hindi po ito pwede na business as usual because it needs a change in the previous mindset and beliefs. So on our part naman at Jollibee Group Foundation, we're very much willing to share our experience and eager to learn from other groups as well. Through the years, we've developed a training program, which we have now transformed into online format. This is the course Agro-Enterprise for Inclusive Value Chains, which we conduct in partnership with Xavier University Ateneo de Cagayan and FEP implementers. And we've completed the training runs for this year. In fact, Ms. Lynn was one of our outstanding graduates. But we're going to run the course again early in 2022, and we invite the other MFIs to sign up and learn more about this work.
Okay, maraming salamat ulit, Joanna and Lynn, for joining me in this presentation. Your sharing has really made the experience more real and the challenges more pronounced as well. Because truly, this work is not easy, and we've always been very explicit about that. One thing we have realized in more than a decade of our work is that the income problem of the farmers goes beyond a technical solution. We may have the capital, the seeds, the machineries, and all the facilities to provide to the farmers. But in the end, if there is no shift in the mindset and perspective of how we view farmers and what they're capable of, we cannot truly get this off the ground. As illustrated by TSPI and other members of your network that have been part of this endeavor, shout out to ASCII and to TSKI, MFIs must keep going beyond microfinance. Though helping the farmers may be the riskiest and in fact they're the most costly borrower, you all believe and agree that this sector is worth our effort and resources. And it can be done sustainably for both the farmers and the MFIs. The good thing is that we do not have and must not even do it alone. There are other organizations who are very willing to help the farmers, including the LGUs, private companies, and NGOs and foundations. The collective leadership of these institutions is important. And I would like to leave you with my favorite leadership quote from Bill O'Brien. Sabi niya, "The success of an intervention depends on the interior condition of the intervenor." Sa Tagalog, ang ikapagtatagumpay ng anumang gawain ay nakasalalay sa adhikain at kalooban ng mga nagsusulong nito. On that note, maraming salamat po sa inyong pakikinig and we wish everyone a fruitful and successful summit.